Hello again. I tend on the whole not to take too much notice of the small band of people who see it as their self-appointed task to have this channel removed from YouTube. It is, I suppose, inevitable that with 174,000 subscribers, there are bound to be one or two who are a little less well balanced than average, shall we say. Something which I noticed here yesterday, though, caused me to think a little more deeply about the matter. Let's clear the ground a little first. Like everybody in the world, many of my opinions are bound to be muddle-headed and wrong. This is so even with things dear to my heart. We can none of us be wholly objective about our own views and beliefs, and so even when I'm talking of something which I feel very strongly is right, there's an excellent chance that I'm mistaken or confused about the matter. Again, this is a general thing. It is part of the human condition. It's not something which is unique to me. And in addition to that, no matter how careful any of us are, including me, inaccuracies are bound to creep into what we say. In other words, we might say something believing it to be true and then later find out that we were wrong about it. For this reason, I'm always happy for people to point out if they think that I am wrong. It is, of course, one of the reasons that I do not moderate the comments here or delete anything. Now, it seems to me that in such a case, when people feel that I have taken a wrong turn, they should answer by explaining what they see as the truth, and then others can look at the 2 points of view and weigh them up in an effort to decide who is right. This only works, though, if those consistently opposed to what I say act in good faith, that is to say, they are as truthful as they are able to be. If they feel obliged to invent falsehoods in an attempt to criticise me and close down this channel, then I can only assume that their arguments are weak and that they are being compelled to fall back on deceit. Yesterday, a fellow who uses the name Bob Wilkins left a comment here in which he took exception to a video which I made about the drowning of 4 men in the English Channel on Tuesday night. He claimed to have made a video of his own denouncing me, and he said that, and I quote, "I have created another little film, no fun jaunty music or amusing graphics on this one, just the sound of the mothers receiving the devastating news." Now, this is a definite and specific claim, that he has recordings of the mothers of the men who drowned on Tuesday night receiving news of their children's deaths. Now, at once I smelt a rat because nobody even knows the nationalities of the dead men, let alone their names. How could it be the case that recordings have been made of their mothers' reactions to the deaths? A little digging soon uncovered what was going on here. In the description to this video, I give a link to a tweet made yesterday evening. It reads as follows. A 16-year-old child drowned in the English Channel yesterday. He was fleeing war in Sudan and its neighbouring countries. His dinghy began to sink in the English Channel on Tuesday night. It's very moving, no? Almost as moving as Bob Wilkins and his fairy tale. The only thing is, this too is a complete lie, and it is one deliberately being spread by left-wingers at the moment. I've seen this story in various places in the last 24 hours, and I'm guessing that this is where Bob found it, on the same sites that I did. In fact, it's a story from 2020 when a Sudanese man who was alleged to be 16 years old was washed up on the English coast. In fact, he was 28. I give a link to a news item about this from a couple of years ago. Bob Wilkins is making up stories, and rather than countering what I say with the truth, is resorting to invention and lies. Why would he do that if his case is sound and worthwhile? This is a recurring theme among the handful of cranks who target this channel, and also my family. Somebody started a YouTube channel to attack me a while ago, and in the comments there, an anonymous person has devised an elaborate fantasy about me and my family, which is to the effect that he has been in touch with my grandson, who told him that I'm a homosexual who is dying of AIDS. This would be quite funny were it not for the fact that my grandson is 8 years old, and the idea that one of those lunatics might be trying to contact a child of that age is alarming. I had to tell the family, and the father forwarded the comment about his son to the police. They say that no offence has been committed because there is no threat to the child, but it just goes to show the lengths to which some of these maniacs will go. Just as with Bob Wilkins, I'm forced to ask myself why, if their opinions, which are in opposition to mine, are correct, why do they feel compelled to make up stories in this way? In other words, if they are right and I am wrong, then surely the truth is their strongest weapon against me. Let me be charitable and assume that this person honestly believes that I am mistaken and that he has a more sound point of view to put across. In such a case, why would he need to try and invent stories about a deadly disease of my 8-year-old grandson? If somebody needs to use lies in this way, I cannot help but suspect that his arguments lack force and probably will not stand up unless backed by bizarre falsehoods.